Hey guys, today I'm going to be making these chocolate bars. They're made out of 3 long-term shelf-stable pantry items. Follow along. If you like chocolate as much as I do, but know that keeping it in the pantry isn't really an option, not for long term. When you try to keep chocolate for too long, it turns gray, it gets grainy, and it has to be rotated. And I'm sure anybody who likes to eat chocolates doesn't mind rotating through that inventory of their pantry. But we don't like to keep a whole lot of that on hand. Chocolate, every once in a while for us, is a great treat. You know, if you ask Professor Lupin, he'll tell you chocolate helps. It really does. And today we're going to be making a chocolate that we can use when we need it, because sometimes you need it. We're going to use 3 ingredients. Very basic. There's no cooking involved. It's really simple to come together, and you'll be surprised how well it comes out and how good they taste. Plus, it opens up a whole bunch of options. Once you make the basic candy bar, you'll think to yourself, what can I put in this? And you'll start adding peanuts or raisins or salted caramel. There's a lot of different things you can do to make little candies that suit your preference. So follow along. I'm going to get the ingredients out and I'll show you. It takes a half an hour. I'm just going to whip up maybe a dozen or a half dozen candies, and I'll show you how I do it. So the 3 ingredients we're going to be using today are baking cocoa powder, and it can be either the dark cocoa powder or just your standard cocoa powder. The candies are almost going to taste like a dark chocolate because of the ratio we're using, not necessarily because of the style of cocoa powder. We're going to use powdered sugar or confectionery sugar, and we're going to use coconut oil, the solid style of coconut oil, the kind you have to like melt before you can use it. So we'll get started by scooping out some of the coconut oil, heating it up a little. You can use a microwave if you have one. I'm just going to put it on the wood stove for a second just to get it into its liquid form, but we're not going to be cooking this chocolate. We're just going to soften up the coconut oil. Today's recipe, I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. And I'm really not going to know I have 2 tablespoons until after it's melted, because it's going to be 2 tablespoons of melted coconut oil. So the first thing I need to do is scoop it out. I'm going to use a metal container because it's going on my stove, but you can use a plastic container if you're going to use the microwave. I'm just going to get more than I think I'm going to need. And then whatever I don't use, I can just pour right back into the container. So let me get this on the stove. We'll turn it into a liquid, and then I'll come right back. Okay, my coconut oil is melted into a liquid. So I'm going to measure out 2 tablespoons. And you can make this recipe as large as you want. I'm only going to do a 2 tablespoon quantity of each of the ingredients because I'm not going to make a whole lot of chocolate. I'm just going to make enough. If you know what I mean by enough. So we'll get 2 tablespoons of our coconut oil in a bowl, and then we'll move on to the other ingredients. And for anybody who says, well, you're melting it into a liquid, why don't you just start with a liquid form? Because solid coconut oil only stays in a liquid form while it's really warm. When it cools, it's going to get hard, and that's what's going to keep our chocolates hard and snappable. If you hold it in your hand a little too long, it's gonna melt because it's coconut oil. So we're just gonna add our next 2 ingredients, and it's basically gonna be the exact same amounts. So we're doing 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. Then I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar. And then I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of baking chocolate powder. And then I'm just going to stir this up and try to make it as smooth as possible. You may have a few lumps or bumps in your confectionery sugar. Just keep stirring, and it's going to be very thick, and it's going to seem almost like you don't have enough oil, but you do. Just keep stirring, and I'll bring you back as soon as I have this thoroughly mixed up. It only takes a couple minutes, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, our chocolate looks to be finished. It's all the ingredients are fully incorporated, and you can see that it's fairly liquid, almost like you melted chocolate on the stove in a double boiler. But we don't have to go through all of that, and it's not going to set up as fast as chocolate that you did in a double boiler. Like, I got to work really quick before this sets up and makes a big mess. Now that I've got all this mixed, I'm just going to, you can either spoon it right onto parchment paper or wax paper and put that in the fridge if you don't have any molds. I picked up this candy mold. I think we got it maybe at the dollar store. And it does little squares and it does little circles. It's made out of silicone, so they pop right out. These things are really cool. If you plan on doing a recipe like this, it's worth looking into some kind of a mold to put these in, just because it makes it so much easier and it makes the candies look a lot better too. But now all I'm going to do is very carefully, and you know how messy I am, I'm going to pour the chocolate into each of these molds and see how many I get. I'm probably not going to fill all of these up, but I'll make enough candy bars, little chocolates, that me and Marilyn will have something to snack on a little bit later, just to give us that little chocolate pick-me-up. All right, I ended up switching to a silicone spatula just so I could clean up my bowl. But I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candies out of this. That's more than enough for us. It leaves an extra one for me, so even better. So the next thing we're going to do is just take our mold, and I'm going to put it in the refrigerator and let this cool. Now, if you want it even faster, throw it in the freezer. That'll harden them up, and then you can move it from the freezer into the fridge. And once they're set up, I'll be right back and I'll show you what they look like.
Well, Steve kidnapped me from some work that I was doing so that I could try some chocolates with him.
She makes it sound like I twisted her arm.
And we've got quite a variety going on here. I know Steve made an extra batch.
Yeah, I did the batch for the video, but I also did a couple of extra batches just to show that you can add different ingredients to these, just to kind of make your favorite candy bar or whatever that might be. And you can get as fancy as you want, or you can keep it simple like we did.
Now, if you've ever had like the Hershey's miniatures, we each have our own favorites, and we each have our own favorite chocolates that are just sometimes holiday chocolates as well. So we tried some different things. We've got the regular chocolate, but with half a maraschino cherry in it, so like a chocolate covered cherry. We have the fancy design on one side, and on the other you can see on this one that we have the Rice Krispies in, so more like a Hershey's crackle bar. And then we made an attempt to do a after dinner mint, and that one has the nice line in it, but it was a little hot when it went in and melted kind of on the bottom, so it kind of went through. So we're still working on that one. These round ones are just like a peanut cluster, but just a small. We also have peanut butter cups. They came out really nice. We have our plain chocolate, and then just to show that you don't need a mold, we took the chocolate that was left, rolled out some wax paper, and filled it with some peanuts. So they're like a peanut nut cluster.
Yeah. And you just do it like a dump cookie. You just dump them right onto the wax paper, get them in the freezer or in the fridge, and let them harden up.
Now, I think I probably would have added some caramel to these before putting the chocolate, and put some more chocolate on top. Maybe a little bit of sea salt, but that's me. I like caramel and sea salt.
All right.
So
go ahead and try whichever one you think is your favorite or something new.
My favorite is going to be the chocolate covered cherry.
I have a feeling we'll be jetting around later. Normally we don't eat this much chocolate, but we're doing this for you. I'm going to try one of the after dinner mints. I haven't had one of these yet. We haven't tried it yet. And like Marilyn said, we have to come up with a better recipe for that mint layer so that it's not quite as watery.
Yeah. Now these are awesome. I like the cherry and chocolate because the chocolate does have a dark chocolate flavor to it. And to me, if you went to the store and bought chocolate covered cherries, they're usually done in a darker chocolate, and that combination of flavors is just one of my favorites. Now, peanut butter cups, hands down, absolutely awesome. And I can imagine taking these and maybe also like the new one that is out on the market. They have the peanut butter cup that has the pieces of Oreo cookie in it. And you could do stuff like that and have fun and experiment and see how it comes out. The
peanut butter cups are really good.
Yeah?
I just wanted to bite into it to show you the inside. Now, I didn't do anything fancy with the center. I don't normally make candy. I took some confectionery sugar and some peanut butter and mixed it up. Made little discs, put that in the freezer just to harden it up, and then that was added to the center of the chocolates. I'm sure there's a better way to do it, but...
He asked me for a little bit of help on getting some of these put together.
Yeah,
but
it worked out well. I like it.
Yeah, for us, we don't go out and buy a lot of chocolate. Chocolate has gotten very expensive. Some people have been talking about what ingredients are or are not in different types of chocolate. This gives you a little bit more control, again, on what you have in the food that you eat. If you love chocolate but don't love the price, this is a great option to make some at home.
Yeah, if you don't love all the chemicals and preservatives, you know, I don't want to say eating chocolate's healthy for you, but making it yourself makes it more healthy than it would be if you were to buy it.
Yeah.
The other thing is, if you want to keep something like this on hand for possibly a time where you can't go out and get chocolates, all of the ingredients that are used are long-term shelf stable. And what that means is you can keep those ingredients in your pantry for years and still end up with a very smooth, almost a Dove chocolate consistency, a very smooth chocolate that's still dark and shiny. And I'm sure you've seen old chocolate where it starts to get gray and grainy. And that's what happens if you keep it in the pantry too long. You have to eat it, and then you have to go out and buy and replace. And with this method here, I can make it as it's needed. It's not often we eat chocolate. Every now and then you have a craving, or maybe you just want to treat yourself. It literally takes a half an hour to whip up a few little candy bars that you can then have as a treat.
Yeah. Now for us, one thing that you do have to remember is you're not going to leave this chocolate out on the shelf in the kitchen on the table.
Especially if it's warm.
Yes.
I mean, it's fine here, and it's very solid. You can snap it. But if you hold it in your hands too long, it will melt. And if you leave it in a very warm room, our house isn't super warm, especially in the winter, it will melt. Because it's at the melting point of coconut oil.
Yep.
So keeping it in the fridge will make it last longer. You only want to really make as much as you're planning on having, or you make a week's ration of it at a time and keep it in the fridge, and that way you can just have a snack every now and then.
Yep, and this will easily last us for a week.
Oh God, yeah.
We don't do a lot of chocolate, but if I were to use, I have small molds that I can use that are a silicone mold. Can't say that word. And I use those like if I want to make some elderberry gummies or something like that. I could probably make myself up a batch of
Little
like
tiny chocolates.
almost like chocolate chips or chocolate chunks if I wanted to make a batch of brownies or some cookies. So these will end up going into a container and go in the fridge for us for the rest of the week. And probably last us easily past Christmas, since Christmas is coming up very quickly.
Well, or if the grandkids come over, we have chocolate. And then we can send them home.
Yep. Let us know if you make your own chocolates. What do you put in them? If you try any of these and you try something different, let us know what you think. And we'd love to hear a comment from anybody out there who has other ideas on things that we can add to our chocolates, because we're always up for trying a little something different in our recipes.
What would you make? What's your favorite candy bar? What would you make? Or if you make these, what's your favorite way of making it? You let us know in the comments. We'll share with each other and come up with the ultimate candy bar.
So everybody, wishing you a great day. Stay warm if it's winter where you are, like it is here. And until next time, take care.
See ya.